Hey everybody, Dan Kalis at Flipping Awesome, flipping-awesome.com that is, and Funding for Flipping. Got our good friend and highly successful creative real estate investor, sales and marketing coach, Mr. Claude Diamond, in the
Thank you. You're
house.
good for my ego. Thank you.
Yes, well you deserve it. You can't do that to yourself. He's rocking the hoodie today. Uh, he's been known to wear a Hawaiian shirt. This is actually, you know what? This is a good opportunity, a good segue to ask this question. I wanted to find out, and again, applying mostly to real estate investors. But I think that there's this idea, even in this year, 2015, or whatever year you're seeing this, that you have to get in front, belly to belly, with these prospective customers. And now you do probably the majority of your business by phone and by Skype. And maybe you can kind of answer the question. I know the answer, I think, but do you need to meet in person to be a successful real estate investor, or do you need to do it all the time? And have you found that when you do meet with people in other forums like this, are they just as receptive? Maybe you can speak to that, because I think a lot of times people are running around all around town, going, visiting, driving, putting miles, burning up the rubber of their tires. Is that necessary?
Um, it's a great question. One of the mistakes I made that my mentor Max, who I've spoken about in all my books, I once drove hours, a couple hundred miles to go to a property. And I saw the people. They showed me the people. Everything was a honeymoon. Claude, call us on Monday. Well, I drove a couple hundred miles back home. A whole day shot, a lot of gas burned. And Monday I tried to reach him. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Finally, 2 weeks later, I got hold of him. Claude, we're not interested. We thought about it. Goodbye. And I was really mad. And I went to my mentor and I said, Max, how these people are so, in all the nasty language, I said. And he said, no, Claude, they're not bad prospects. There's only, I got to clean this up. I don't want to say the S word. There's only bad salesmen. He said, I should have asked the right questions. I need to qualify people, which led to the development of guts, qualifying people so much up front. Now, with today's technology, people are always asking me for meetings, for lunch, for dinner. I tell them, let's go on Facebook. Let's go on FaceTime. Let's go on Facebook. You can do video now too. I use
Yeah.
Skype religiously. I have 10 appointments today, half-hour appointments today on Skype. We are using Meerkat and Periscope. We're using Google Live Events and Google Hangouts. We have all this video here. And everybody has one of these little devices now. Most everybody who's in business has an Android or an iPhone. Let's use the technology, because the eyes are the windows to the soul. Isn't selling better, easier when you can see each other? And
Of course.
does it not lead to persuasion, to the trust and likability we always talk about?
Absolutely, it's a great medium for that. Obviously, there's some benefits to audio only, to text only, but video overall does capture that. So let's say I'm a seller and I'm going to say to you, "Hey Claude, you know what? I appreciate you calling me, and it sounds pretty nice of what you're saying, and maybe we can do something. But why don't you just come out to my house? Meet me and my wife, so we can kind of see who you are. We never met you before. You've never been referred by anybody. Why don't you come out to our house, and then we'll see our house, make sure it's something you really want."
Off the role play, then I would stroke and nurture. I'd say, Mr. Kalis, that is so nice. Thank you for extending the hospitality to go to your home. I'm looking at your home right now on Google Maps and Zillow, so I have a pretty good idea. Can I ask you a few questions? Because your time is very valuable as well as mine. So before I drive out there and we do all this coordination, let's make sure we're on the same page and we have a likelihood of doing business. Would you just mind if I can ask you a few quick questions, and if we can do business, great, and if not, either one of us can say no. Is that all right with you, Dan?
Yeah, I guess we could do that.
Okay, good. Thank you.
But
Boom.
off the role play, so now he or she is still thinking of talking to you on the phone right now. How would you kind of suggest? What would it sound like to suggest? Hey, can we do Skype? And then maybe I'm going to say, I don't even that technology. I don't know how to get Skype on my computer. But okay, so how would you first present that?
I would just say, you know what? Let me do some homework on your property. I'm going to do a little due diligence. I'm going to check it out on the technology I mentioned before. And why don't we have a meeting on Skype, or I'll send you an invitation. It's real easy to use. Or if you have FaceTime if you have an iPhone, everybody has FaceTime built in, and then we can have a face-to-face conversation. How does that sound, Dan?
Yeah, that would be, but you know what? I don't even have like Skype on my computer, and my son usually helps me with that, but I'm not going to see him for like a week, so maybe like in a couple of weeks we can talk if he can help me, or I don't know. What do you think?
You know, I'm not going to, off the role play, I'm not going to beat a dead horse and drive the
Right.
guy crazy. But hopefully there's a, you know, we give people, I call it the Claude barometer, 1 through 10. We give them a score. Are they a 2 or 3? They're living in the house. They have no rush to sell it. And there's very little motivation. Or are they an 8, 9, or 10? And they're really, you know, most people I find are going to learn Skype or FaceTime or one of the video applications. And if they're not, they're not. But you know, maybe it's an age thing, a generational thing, and they're just not comfortable with it. You adapt to all the different people and situations. But the real hard rule before we end is never go to a property unless you're going to pick up a check or a contract.
That's good right there. No, that's really good advice, and I think people can save a lot of time. One thing I wanted to mention is a little interesting piece of trivia. We were talking about burning tires and wasting time and driving all around. Michelin as a company, back in the day, remember we talk about, and this is another topic, but Gary Vaynerchuk talks about being a media company first in order to build an audience and to kind of associate yourself. Michelin tires, back, I don't know when it was, they published a restaurant guide for all the top restaurants in different parts of the metropolitan areas.
The Michelin guys, right?
People get in their cars, they would get these free guides, and they would say, "Oh, honey, let's go to this new restaurant. Let's go." And they would give them a reason to drive more and burn their tires out so that they would buy them sooner. And guess who was advertising in their own medium platform? Michelin. So, little tidbit, kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
Tires. Anyway, that's it for now. This has been Dan Kalis with flipping-awesome.com. We got Claude Diamond from claudediamond.com. And I encourage you to reach out to either one of us if you guys got questions about real estate, investing, sales, marketing, negotiating, leadership, all those kind of things. So look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, Claude.
Take care.